I find it amazing that even in a film about a covenant of celibate nuns, Sydney Sweeney still finds it possible to get her boobaloobies out. I'm definitely not objecting, but geez Louise, let's get our shit together here. Welcome back, I'm Billy Bogues and you're watching How Disturbing, the show where we try to find the greatest disturbing film ever made. And today we're looking at 2024's Immaculate. As I mentioned, Immaculate was released in 2024 and in Australia it received an R18+ rating. It was directed by Michael Mullen, who's a reasonably new director, but you might recognise him as the director of Save the Date from 2012 or The Voyeurs from 2021. Great film. The film stars Sydney Sweeney, who we all recognise from Euphoria, and she's really the only actress in this film that you're actually going to recognise, as most of the other actors have only done Italian cinema and television. Immaculate opens with Sister Mary sneaking into a superior's room and stealing a big ring of keys. She desperately tries to escape a Catholic covenant through the locked gates. But these weird red-faced hooded figures rock up and they break her leg and drag her back in. She later wakes up in a coffin, buried alive. Solid opening. I love it when a film does that. Meet Sister Cecilia.
It's a different life, yeah? Must have been a hard decision.
I don't think of it like that.
For the rest of this review, I'm going to be referring to Cecilia as Cece because Cecilia is fucking hard to say. Cece's just arrived in Italy from America to join a covenant of nuns. Covenant, also a stupidly hard word to say for some reason.
Sorella Cecilia.
Reverend Mother.
I tuoi occhi risplendono della luce dello Spirito Santo.
After meeting her Reverend Mother, she's shown around by Sister Isabel, who's a bit of a jerk.
Let me show you to your room.
Our Lady of Sorrows was founded in 1632 as a refuge for elder sisters before their transition to heaven.
Covenant that she's joined tends to dying nuns in their last days. Kind of a palliative care situation.
Her tumour has metastasized, so we expect her to meet God by the end of the week.
You talk about us so casually.
Death is a part of everyday life here.
Cece settles into her room and quickly makes friends with Sister Gwen. Gwen is rather rebellious and doesn't seem like she wants to be a nun at all. But hey, they're neighbours, so why not be friends?
Oh, ciao. Ciao, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm Cecilia.
Oh, I'm Gwendolina. You can call me Gwen. My room is there.
But that's enough of those playground shenanigans. We've got a nun to induct. She meets Father Sal Tedeschi, who I'm going to refer to as Father Fabio.
Sister Cecilia.
Father Tedeschi. It's nice to meet you in person.
We all feel so blessed to have you here.
As well as Cardinal Franco Marola, who I'm not going to give a nickname to because I don't have to say his name again.
Ecco le sue spose. Sono pronte.
Cece takes vows to adhere to the evangelical counsels and becomes a nun. She's celebrated and decorated with a rosary.
How are you feeling?
Full. Yeah, we don't really have anything like this back home.
After the ceremony and a fuckload of wine, Cece hears someone crying and whispering somewhere. She discovers a room with someone lying down in the centre of it, sprawled out on the floor face down. They're wearing one of those same creepy masks we saw earlier, and they seem to be okay, albeit a little bit crazy.
Are you okay?
We find out that the Covenant has been housing one of the ancient nails that went through Jesus' hand.
Ha sofferto sulla croce.
An old crazy red-face is just laying down being a freak worshipping the nail.
Suffering is love.
Cecilia passes out. She has this crazy dream hallucination thing, and then she wakes up. That'd be all sweet, except now somebody's in her room. Or are they? What follows next is a montage of the intricacies of Covenant life as Cece learns all about life and death, but mainly death. You see, not only is this a palliative care home, you also have to kill your own chickens.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Sleepy time for Cece. Except it's not, because some old lady's hiding in the corner of her room. Snip, snip. It's okay, it's just one of those crazy ladies with dementia. Cece gets her back to her bed, but discovers that the lady has crucifixes burned into the soles of her feet. The next day, Cece has a communal bath. Sexy.
It's not what you thought it would be, huh? This place.
No, it's definitely different.
It's better than where I came from, though.
But it ends with her throwing her guts up. Not sexy.
Oh my god, I was joking.
Anyways, guess who's pregnant? Me! Jokes, it's Cece.
Out of all the women in the world, why did he choose me?
But the bigger question is, why does a covenant of nuns need all this ultrasound baby monitoring equipment? Fast forward to trimester number 2. Cece has morning sickness and tooth lostness sicknesses? She vomits out a tooth. No more work for her though, because Cece's only job is to half a baby.
Remember, your only job is baby.
How long before they start calling you Mary?
She should have a nice relaxing bath. Except it's not relaxing because evil sister Isabel's trying to drown the fuck out of her. See, she's jealous that God didn't knock her up without consent. Men, am I right? Luckily though, super nuns to the rescue! Don't know why I did that. So Cece's starting to get fed up with all this loony bullshit and she requests to see a real doctor. But obviously, Father Fabio denies this.
I want to see another doctor.
Why, Dr. Garland?
Takes care of old women. I want to go to a real hospital, please.
Time for a walk. Even if the weird red-faced gang's watching you the whole time. What's that up there? Oh, it's Sister Isabel jumping off the roof to her death. I mean, she was an asshole, but geez Louise. And good God, is she fucking mangled. Sister Gwen publicly criticises the Covenant superiors for turning a blind eye to all the crazy batshit stuff that's going on.
Is something the matter? I can see you.
Non mi toccare. Fuck this.
But she's quickly bundled away by Father Fabio and the other important high-ranking weirdos.
Voi, ognuno di voi, dice un sacco di cazzate. Lasciami, lasciami, lasciami! No! Lasciami, ho detto lasciami!
That night, Cece notices that behind a painting of Mother Mary on the wall, there's an inscription. It's Corinthians 11:14, and obviously we all know what that means.
For Satan himself often masquerades as an angel of light.
Even Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. Sounds like a warning. Cece breaks into an office to read the file that the Covenant has on her, and she's shocked to discover information on an accident that happened to her way back when she was a child. Hearing a woman's screams, she ventures further and is shocked to discover that Sister Gwen is having her tongue cut out by those creepy red-faced weirdos. But that crazy elder Snip nun appears behind her, completely out of nowhere, and silences Cece. Cece begs the old lady to help her escape, not sure why, and the old lady chastises her. She says that there's no way she will ever leave the Covenant. Wake up, sleepyheads, there's blood everywhere! Something's wrong with unborn Jesus.
Please, something's wrong. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't.
Father Fabio reluctantly bundles her up and begins to take her to the hospital. Turns out though, Cece just used chicken blood to fake an injury and she's busted.
Please go.
Okay, Father Fabio's calmed down and it's explanation time. Okay, so you know the Jesus nail thing that they've got? Well, turns out that the Jesus nail contains leftover Jesus DNA.
Blood, tissue, little fragments of bone, a genetic code. All we had to do was crack it.
And the Covenant's been using this DNA to pull off some Jurassic Park-esque style bullshit.
Playing God.
I am not playing God.
Father Fabio explains that before he was a priest, he was actually a geneticist. Weird career move, but okay.
I left the field of genetics because some people disagreed with the ethics of my experiment.
He's been using DNA from the Holy Nail relic to impregnate nuns in an attempt to resurrect a new Jesus. Fucking plot twist. Until his success with Cecilia, however, all of his attempts have been failures.
This is what's inside me.
No, these are all our failures. What's inside you is our success.
And they've only resulted in malformed, disgusting freak fetuses.
It's taken us 20 years of trial and error.
He then uses a hot poker to burn a crucifix into the soles of Cecilia's feet, stopping her from escaping, and a symbol that she's seen and is familiar with.
May you never stray again.
No!
Fast forward to trimester 3. We cut to one of the mothers doing an ultrasound on an extremely pregnant and depressed Cece.
Che bella mammina, che occhioni. Che tu sia benedetta.
But unfortunately for old love Nun, Cece's been hiding a big heavy cross, and she uses it to bludgeon the woman to death and turn her face into bolognese sauce. And now, with contractions beginning, water breaking, and burned feet, Cece decides it's an appropriate time to go on a motherfucking killing spree. And if you've seen this before, guys, you know I don't give away ending spoilers, but man, I'll tell you this, the end of this film is a fucking ride. So before we rank this bad boy, or bad girl, let's just quickly do a little review of the movie. I find it amazing that even in a film about a covenant of celibate nuns, Sydney Sweeney still finds it possible to get her boobaloobies out. And I mean, like, at any point possible. Like, we get it. You have nice breasts. I'm definitely not objecting, but geez Louise, let's get our shit together here. Immaculate's first, second and third act were divided into trimesters, and I like this. I thought it was really clever. It made the film feel more consumable, like you were watching 3 smaller episodes that all joined together. I'm glad the first act abandoned the jump scares tactic, because that's fucking annoying as shit, and it just makes your movie look cheap if it has to rely on jump scares to hold attention. Jump scares aren't a movie driving device, they're something for teenagers to laugh at. I thought that at points this script was quite weak, and at other points the acting was quite weak. However, it really didn't take away from anything because the story was just so original and captivating. So ebbs and flows, I guess. Hot take from me, unpopular opinion, Sydney Sweeney is a shitty actor. I just find her unconvincing in every role I've ever watched her in. Like, she doesn't ruin a film for me, but she's certainly really distracting. And I don't know if she's getting all these big roles because she's a talented actress. I think she might be getting them because she's hot. I mean, she is hot. Anyway, also, why is one of her eyes red in this film? Like, just one of her eyes for like the first half of the movie is red. I mean, if you've got pink eye, just hold off filming or something, right? Or edit it out in post? I don't know. What's wrong with your eye, Sydney? What's wrong with your eye? In conclusion, the atmosphere and the score are not really important in this film. The script and the acting is slightly weak, but the original story holds my captivation. It's a nun horror, a genre which has been beaten to death, except the enemy isn't something supernatural, it's man himself. Or woman herself. Having said all that, we're going to use statistics and averages to find out if Immaculate is the greatest disturbing film of all time. We're not looking for the greatest film of all time here, we're not looking for the most disturbing film ever created. What I'm looking for is the greatest disturbing film ever made. Okie dokie, spreadsheet time. Okay, so looking at the spreadsheet here, you can see I'm reviewing a few different things in the film, like how good the actual movie is versus how disturbing the movie is, and you're going to get a score based on the average of these things ultimately, right? Like, you could have a film that's really disturbing but the movie's kind of shit, or you could have a really good movie but it just wasn't quite as disturbing as it thought it was. But what I'm looking for is a movie that's fantastic as a film but also super disturbing. So you can see I've got Black Swan at the top here, I think followed by Poor Things. Yeah, the system works, trust me. But where does Immaculate fit into all that? Well, let's have a look. The first thing I need to do for Immaculate is work out how good the film was outside of how disturbing it is. So I'm going to rate the film purely on its quality, and I'm going to give Immaculate a 62 out of 100. It's a pretty good movie, honestly, and if that seems like a low rating, remember my motto, 10s are rare, not everything can be a 10. So now, a lot of the time, what I think of a movie and what everyone else thinks of a movie is vastly different. So I like to get an average of my rating of the film and everyone else's rating of the film. Yep. So when I go to the most popular movie review sites and have a look at what you guys are rating this film, I've averaged your audience rating out at a 65.2. So for the first time, it's actually close. The rating's close between what I think and what an audience thinks. That's rare for this show. We're going to average together what I thought of the film with what you guys thought of the film, and when we average our scores together, we're left with a 63.6. So yeah, we're really on the same page here. Next, the rating that everyone's watching this video for, the disturbing rating for Immaculate, and it was pretty fucked up, but I've seen some pretty fucked up shit that we're yet to touch on this show, so I'm going to give Immaculate a disturbing rating of 68.8. But to see where this movie ranks as the greatest disturbing film of all time, we need to average out how good the film was with how disturbing the film was and get ourselves an ultimate rating. And our ultimate rating for 2024's Immaculate is a 66.2. That's a wild score for this show. So we're going to bring out the other spreadsheet here, and we're going to insert Immaculate into there, and that's remarkable. I mean, we've got a number one. It's been ages since we've had a number one, but Immaculate so far is our greatest disturbing film of all time that we've seen. And if you have a look, the reason that Immaculate has scored so highly on a number one is because it had a consistency, right? It was in the 60s the whole way through. I mean, if you look at other films, they're really disturbing, but the movie sucks, or the movie's fantastic, but it's not very disturbing. I mean, Immaculate, it didn't rate particularly high. I mean, it was only in the 60s, but again, consistency is key, and it's earned itself a #1 spot. So there you have it, guys. We have ourselves a new #1. Immaculate is so far the greatest disturbing film that we've seen. I want to encourage you guys to like, yo, and subscribe, yo. I'm gonna stop doing it like this, yo. I'm embarrassed. I don't know why these are rap hands, and I apologize for that. I'm Billy Bogues, you've watched How Disturbing, and I'll see you guys next time.